Yo, hello friends, and a happy Thursday evening to all of you lovelies out there. Guapo, happy Thursday night, my guy. Number one in the chats, number one in our hearts. What else we got in here? Who's here tonight? What's up, guy? Hey, listen, there's no fighting over it. Proven fact. 420% more likely to have the riches of the world bestowed on them. No? On them. Not on you. Well, it's on you. So, you saw the comments. You'll see it right there. That's the truth. I really did mean it. What is going on? If the background music is distracting, I just hit play. There's like a list of some wild stuff that's about to come through for a minute. Some whatever. What's this thing do? Oh, it's an attachment. Alright, we'll leave it right there. I can't have. You're gonna give me epilepsy in here, dude. Yeah, 100%. Same, like, alright. I mean, I kind of want, yeah. I'll look at it later. Alright, I'll look at it. Whoa, what up, Dudley? Yeah, you do it to me right now, dude. I fish out on the fucking, on camera in front of people because of too much light shit. Oh, that'd be bad, you know? I get a little bit light sensitive, dude. Not really bad, but sometimes. Oh, really? Yeah, I kind of want to do it. Once I put it on, is it gonna break everything else? Now let's just click. Let's go. Whoa. Oh, it's, here we go. Whoa, okay, here we go. Alright, extension. Come on. But then where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Now that I have clicked on the extensions. And how do I spend my time? Now that nobody gives us a damn. Oh, extension. Oh, it says this extension may soon no longer be supported because it doesn't follow best practices for Chrome extensions. Dude, you trying to give me fucking computer aids or what, dude? I have no clue. Trying to fight me, dude. Trying to tell me not to fucking get it. Dude, the heck you, bub. Yeah, I'm gonna hit add to Chrome. I hit it. Alright, I'm gonna add the extension for 1 second. Let's see what happens. Alright, here we go. How do we do it? What do I do? What do I click on? What? Says audio is not currently playing? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it did. It said audio is currently not playing. Oh, I probably am not able to put my audio on in here because then it would play over the headphone or over my speakers, which I'm listening to. Oh, I wonder if I use it right here on Suno, actually. Maybe oh, there we go. Oh, bro, it's over. What are we doing? How do I fucking change some shit? We're gonna, wow, inspect. What is happening? Okay. Wow. Oh, here we go. Oh man, what a good. Are we allowed to just play this back here? No problema? Anywho and holler. Open source. Look at us go. See if I can find me now. Oh, very sweet. I'll keep me the hell out of the way then. I like this. Yeah, no, I mean, there's none. Yeah, I'm with you. Alright, well. There's some great visualization situations going on here. I did actually, well, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna, listen, I can minimize this at some point, but I did have a few weed things that I was gonna talk about. Oh, God. Listen, whoever's here, well, I know Guapo's listened to it because he was part of it. But if you have not listened to the most recent Two Dope Dudes episode, what are you waiting for? What I mean, I literally have been listening to it again. Like, I listened to it a little bit on the update or on the first fucking showing of it. What do you call it? The premiere. There you go. I watched the damn premiere. And then, is this it right here? Oh my God. Can I tell you guys? I love me some Alex. What a... There you go. Thank you, Guap, for dropping that. For everybody who hasn't seen it, we do have the latest episode of the Elevated News podcast with Two Dope Dudes. That's me and Guapo. Dude, this is wild right now. I wish I could show you what is happening. I have this on full screen on the left, so it is coming in live. Dude, I might get the motion sickness off of it. On it. Yep, it's gonna happen. I know it would if I left it. If that happened for too long, I will get motion. That's dead ass. That's how my well, but I've got it like happening a couple places, so it's really coming in hot. Anyway, I can't change the song. It's behind the visualization. It's kind of really neat though. I want to just like look at it up close, you know, just really oh, hey. Don't get me sick over here. If I get sick, I'll let you know. I should probably smoke some. Maybe it'll help me not get sick. Oh, I got so much good stuff to talk about tonight. God. Well, if y'all willing to listen, well, first of all, Biz, what's up, brother? Fuck, we got the go. All right, my favorite, some of my favorite people in the whole world listening in right now. Oh, dude, this light show going on right now, and it's delayed because of the over. Oh my. Wow. All right. Anyway, would you prefer? I got some weed stuff I could talk about. If you have not watched, this is what we were just talking about. Linked up in the very recent comments is a YouTube link for the latest episode of Two Dope Dudes, the elevated news podcast with two dope dudes. That's me and Guapo, yours truly's. But we had a guest artist on. His name is Alex, and he's one of the smartest people I have the privilege of. I mean, I actually know a lot of very smart people, but Alex is fantastically knowledge in the cannabis world of things, and if you have not listened to him in our episode, please, I beg you, for yourself, if you want to know about cannabis altogether, I tried to play a little bit dumber to some of the things to try and listen to this man speak, and y'all know I did not talk as much as I averagely talk, and y'all know I could talk a lot. But I was so happy to just listen in to what this man has to say. He's incredibly knowledgeable in the... So I said like 4 things. Dude, when you said that at the end, I was like, wow, you're right. Like, I don't remember you saying much, but I don't remember me saying much. And like, I re-listened, and when I was re-listening, there was a few parts where, and I can't remember it off the top of my head right now, where we were speaking about something, and he talked, and then I went into something about it, but I was so caught up in what he was speaking about, that like, my brain was still processing what was going on. I was losing where I was going with it because it didn't matter, because I was trying to like work out how good this dude actually knows shit. And what a pleasure we got to have Alex on. Please go watch the latest episode. But then I also I'm gonna minimize the visuals for a second, friends. We'll leave it up in the corner, okay? Keep it going. I like the visual. Maybe we'll just put it right behind. That's what I need. Background. All right. Anyway, he was finally allowed to come on. The man finally has enough. Oh, bandwidth. Oh, are you guys doing okay out there? I got hit with a warning. The bandwidth. Oh shit, it is fucking low. Everything okay? They were telling me the internet wasn't working well here the other day. Now let me look. The fuck? The Pong. Anyway, here we go. Hopefully the stream's coming through all right. I just got a warning from YouTube saying, hey, don't have slow internet on us, because we like to stream what you're doing. This was what I was going to talk about for cannabis heads out there. I was listening to a recent podcast. I've started to enjoy the morning podcast. There's a couple of them, and I could speak a few things on a few different ideas here. This was one of them, Modern Wisdom. Do you guys know this cat right here, Chris Williamson? I enjoy listening to that man speak. He has quite a few really good guests at times. But I caught myself listening to the beginning of one of his podcasts here recently. Whoa! Shee! Look at this guy. Hey, where'd my little extension thing go, dude? Hold on, come back. Extension thing. Oh, there it is. All right. Fire. All right, we're back. We're live. Here we go. Rafito, way here. Let's smoke since Raf's here. Let me tell you all about a lot. What do you want to know about? But I got a lot to speak about right now. I have a few good ideas and concepts that have come to my brain here recently, and some people that I listened to, then I had interpreted it in the sense of cannabis. But I also was listening to a cannabis podcast that was talking about this shit right here. Okay, 5-fluoro AB Pinaka. All right. Now, I think it's ABB or ABP. Okay. I can't really find a lot, but if you actually look at this molecule, okay, it does kind of have that cannabis-y situation going on down here. The bottom of it does. Now, the top part up here is, and this is why it's weird, is because it has a chlorine attached to it. And so but here, look. Is an analytical reference material that is structurally similar to known synthetic cannabinoids, okay? So this thing looks like a synthetic cannabinoid, and a lot of people are... Raf. Come on, man. You don't know about Two Dope Dudes, bro? Raf, stop it. Right up there, go listen. Honestly... Go listen to Alex speak about cannabis. He is so fucking smart. I was about to say, I was about to leave the podcast, come to your house, put your ass to sleep, choke style, and then come back and continue the show if that's what you were about to say. But go listen to that, please. It literally makes me happy to listen to Alex speak about cannabis. He has some really cool, interesting takes. One of which is that one of the main cannabinoids that all of us like to consume, which is THC, may no longer even come from a plant at some point. Oh, Alyssa, how are you? Hello, Angela, and hello, Alyssa. How are you? Happy Thursday night. Check this out. We're talking some good cannabis facts right here. Oh, chili's amazing. I love chili all the time. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in the cannabis world. There's some so this is one thing that I want to speak on. All right, the synthetic cannabinoids that are being produced nowadays. We were speaking to our friend Alex, and you may check that out on the YouTube. One more time, let's repost that link again, unless y'all can see the link up there. It's the last thing that Guapo posted from YouTube. It is a link to the Two Dope Dudes episode with Alex. It's my there you go, it's right there again. Alyssa and Angelo, if you haven't listened to it, listen. It's a great thing. He speaks on how THC may no longer be a plant-derived we may be switching, what did he say? Yeast. Oh, there you go, Alyssa. Heck yes. Thank you so much. That's fire. Did you catch the part where he was talking about turning yeast into THC? And that to grow the plant takes a very long time. And we got yeast out there everywhere. It's basically ferment. Correct. I mean, you're using... he said you're using a CRISPR, so you're using genetic modification. But they are, if that's a reality and there is a chance to get the main intoxicant from another source that is not the plant, the availability of this intoxicant goes through the absolute roof. And we talked about it earlier in the day, and we talked on the pod about it. Basically ferment. Oh, dude, so like this is the other. The reason I'm bringing it up too, and the reason why I got this weird, fake, synthetic cannabinoid-looking thing behind us, is because the molecular chain that is delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol, right? It is the classification of a singular molecule. I don't even know how to explain. It's I mean, so we all know the periodic table. H2O, right? Water and is 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen, right? That is the only way that water can be. That's what water is, right? There's no other way. I mean, there's different additives inside of it, levels of basicness and acidity that can be added to the thing to make it something, but the basic molecular structure is the same, in the same way that delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol is structurally the same, right? If you have to have that one thing to be that one thing. Like, you can change the thing, adjust it, and it becomes something else. Remove some of the remove 2 hydrogen atoms, and all of a sudden that water becomes oxygen again. And we breathe oxygen. Well, then you put CO2 back out, right? And then like it's just the idea that like there is a recirculation and a use for all of these things, but it does transition, and it does change from the thing that it was into something new. But when we inhaled oxygen, when we breathed out, is there, and I don't know the technical truth of this, if there's any oxygen left in what you breathe out, but we do understand that gets converted into CO2, and that the oxygen that's coming back out, or the pure oxygen that's coming back out, is coming with extra shit attached to it, right? So it's gone through a change, and to call it anything different, it's like it just is what it is, right? So regardless of how it gets there and how it gets to that point, water is just water, oxygen is just oxygen, CO2 is just carbon dioxide. The fact of the, like, they all share in common one thing, but they're also drastically different in the way that cannabinoids are very similar, right? The molecular chain looks common, even where this one here, this is known as we could read it here, a derivative featuring a chlorine atom added to the terminal carbon of a pentyl group, right? And like it's similar to known synthetic cannabinoids. Well, look at the chain. It looks like CBD, THC, whatever. Oh, Chi-Town and Colleen. What's up, cuz? How you been? I miss you. I love you. I hope you're doing all right. We're just talking about this lovely plant again. Good old cannabis. Lots of stuff going on, you know. People are consuming it. People trying to know the newest. You want to know the newest part about it? It might be manufactured out of yeast. There's people who are capable of doing this, and it means big things for the future of I was about to say cannabis, but cannabis is the plant, right? So there's a lot to be said for the future of delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol, right? The thing that we're all, well, we get it from hemp. You can't have it from hemp. Take the hemp away from people. No, it's only got to come from the cannabis plant, where you got to have these big licenses, and the only way to have that is to be some big conglomerate, multi-state operating, vertically integrated, monopolized, best friends with the rest of the industry fucking monster, right? Like, that's the only way. But like, if they're able to synthesize it off of some yeast, bro, your your right to protect the plant becomes kind of shit unless there's a lot of rules that go against this, right? Which we all know how many rules can come up overnight, especially when it means somebody else would profit and you wouldn't. But when the scalability, and this is what Alex talks about a lot in the podcast too, if you guys go and listen to it, the most recent episode of the Elevated News Podcast with Two Dope Dudes, I'm going to keep plugging it because it's such a good episode. He speaks of the scalability of this thing, and the cutting the cost by factors of 10, right? Where to produce cannabis and to grow a plant requires tons of resources, and obviously to grow the yeast still takes resources, but not as much, right? And you can grow an abundance of that stuff, and you don't have to be as tight about it, and the regulations against it isn't as much, and you can pretty much strip it of all the impurities and throw it onto, and just synthesize it into the thing that everybody's hunting so desperately, which is this delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, the intoxicant that is what we all, weed, high, intoxication, whatever, right? It's weed, right? It's cannabis, but it's not, because when we really boil it in, this is what we talked about in the episode too, is that there's more going on with the plant, the entourage effect of it, even where Alex goes on to say that maybe where you've all heard me say about removing plant fats and the sugars and the whatever, if you take out the excess parts of the glucose and the shit from the plant itself, we've taken another barrier of something out of the plant that could be harmful to us. But if that is actually a beneficial aspect of this thing, what if it's the thing that's coating your lungs with the proper whatever? What if it's the thing that helps deliver the cannabinoids in the proper way? We just don't have enough understanding of how this plant interacts directly for us to go, oh, it's X, Y, or Z. And that's why a lot of what I speak on is anecdotal experience. I've been able to sit in the face of thousands of literal patients, people who, even to the verbiage of Alex, they were people more close to, their deathbeds than they weren't. There was a lot of people who were struggling, very heavy cancers, and, at the beginning of the cannabis industry, right? I saw cannabis be used in a medical setting, and even Alex goes on to say things of like, I don't know the difference of medical or not, where I will always defend the medical terminology, but it is because there are a few conditions that we can directly treat with it, but there is a plethora of symptoms that we know are directly affected by this thing too. So I think that you all should just listen to this episode. I think it's really worth the listen, understanding that cannabinoids and cannabis as a whole is still something in its infants, and the potential to profit from its isomers and things that we can extract from the plant, and not even from the plant now, from other plants, and to ferment, for a lack of better words, or isomerize, or however they go about using CRISPRs or whatever they do to genetically modify the yeast molecules to be exactly delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. The future could be around the corner faster than we think. And with people constantly looking for profit, using THC within things like gummies or even our food sources, right? You could throw because I speak on the ideas of essential cannabinoids, things that would regulate our endocannabinoid system. And it's not that I don't think everybody needs it in the same way that everybody doesn't need to take vitamin C every day and vitamin D every day and vitamin B every day, essential vitamins, but how essential are they for all of us? In the same way that if you're regulated in other ways, getting sunlight, eating proper diets, all of that, you don't necessarily need to take a supplement of it. So if you're taking care of your health in other ways, perhaps cannabis isn't the thing that you need, but we all do go through a deterioration period, especially one where we deal with an increase of inflammation. We also deal with a decrease in average sleep cycle. We deal with an average decrease in appetite. We deal with a greater amount of fatigue. And even though I think the names sativas and the names indicas suck, right? They're terrible interpretations of a plant that has so much more going on for it. For us to be able to call the plant both of those, something indicouch, indicoma, or energetic, euphoric, and it's all coming off the same plant, for us to be able to have that level of vastness to it allows us to have access to the Swiss Army knife of personal care. It's the thing that will give you immediate gratification without long-term ramification, right? And I think that for all of us who have used it for forever, there's a fuck it all that's beautiful about this thing. And I can segue into this other thing that I listened to this other thing, and I really like some of the words that were spoken, but a lot of the cannabis idea and the general fuck it all that so many of us use this for is it's very personal. It doesn't have to be much more than it's just nothing more than that's what the fuck I do, right? You don't need an explanation for it. But when you actually dwell in the ideas of why a consumer would use something to get to this level of intoxication or comfort or whatever it is, right? I understand. So it was, let me just tell you, it was Jillian Turecki, okay? I'm sorry for people who are writing comments. I'll get to you in a second. Let me finish this full thought before I lose where I'm at. Jillian Turecki was the author of the book, and she was the guest host of the Modern Wisdom episode that I was watching today. And if y'all want to listen to it, it was good. It was she talked about relationships. I listened to a good 20 minutes of it because of the initial starting point of it. It transitioned through, and I was listening to it. I said, you know what, that ain't that bad. And some of the concepts and some of the ideas were actually very tieable back to cannabis for me, right? And the title of her book was "It Begins with You." And a lot of times when I speak on what taking your health back into your own hands, there's a lot of you can do this, right? It begins with you, right? Like, and that's when I heard it. Okay, I can get real spiritual and physiological. I like deeper thoughts. Okay, so when I heard that, she goes on to explain the idea that there's a fear that you're not enough. And as soon as she said that, I said, man, there's something that you're saying in the psychology that actually probably ties deeply to what a lot of cannabis consumers are using cannabis for, right? There's a very gentling ease. She talks about breath work and things of that nature too, but there's a gentling ease to the consumption of cannabis in the thought space. The fear that you are not enough lingers in a bunch of relationships things, is what she goes on to say. But it's not just your immediate boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you're into. Whatever your connection is, that immediate, but into other aspects of our lives too, work and personally, your friends and shit. Like there's a lot of this fear that, like, how do I live up to the standards of? And because we're so afraid of losing the acceptance or the idea that we're satisfying enough to the person across from us, we sometimes sacrifice parts of us to these other folks, and that's like this, we all know we can get ourselves into a real quick depression. But I think that when I was listening to it, I said, okay, well, cannabis might be a helpful tool in this also, right? To ease the thoughts, to help you exist in your thought space, to not be so fast and snap to immediately gratify what's in front of you because it's easier to be accepted that way. But instead to take the time and to go, well, wait a minute, it would actually benefit you, me, and everybody because I had to take enough time to think about where all the benefit would be from going through this experience. But now that I've thought about it, it would be more beneficial for all of us if we considered having a conversation through this, if we considered thinking about what best would benefit both of us instead of one of us getting aggravated, instead of getting so frustrated and worked up in the moment, right? And there was another, I forget who he quoted it by, but Williamson says, he goes, unspoken expectations are premeditated resentment. Okay, I'm going to say it again because the first time he said it, I had to go back and hear the words again. It really fucking makes a lot of sense, right? Unspoken expectations. You're in a relationship. You just came home from work. You want them to get up and say they love you. They're busy looking at their phone, but it was engaging whatever they were looking at. And maybe it was work related. Maybe it was something super important, but they didn't engage you. But that was something that you didn't even speak like, hey, I want you to come give me a hug or some love. You just came in, saw that they weren't engaged. You immediately shut it down because you want to make sure that you're good enough for them. And to interrupt what they're doing on the phone is to not be good enough for them, is to not allow them their space and their time and their whatever. We're in a committed relationship. We can get past that bullshit, right? But there's a unspokenness that happens in that, right? But unspoken expectations, now here's the thing, are premeditated resentments. I walk past you. I never say, hey, babe, give me the big hug that I want because I just walked through the door. I just go by because I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to offend you or make you feel like you have to do something for me. I'm here to satisfy you. Your happiness is my problem. I have to take care of you and make sure that you're happy all the time. And in that, there's a premeditated resentment that will come from that. You don't know it, you don't feel it at the point, but because of your expectations, your unspoken expectations of somebody that you never allowed them to even understand were there, now you also have premeditated a resentment in the future. And we do this in every aspect of life. I gave it to you in a relationship one, hoping to understand, but we can do it in workplaces too, right? We never ask for the proper raises. We never ask for the actual proper jobs. We have plenty of skills, and it's, can we wait to get it? There's not enough time. I'm really hurting now, and that sucks, right? But that's why I've been begging everybody around, care about yourself, take care of yourself, right? And in there's a lot of like, maybe we should save a few extra dollars, and maybe we should eat better, and maybe we should whatever. I'm not the financial advisor. I'm not a fucking, I'm not a health professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not an exercise expert, a fucking physical therapist. I can't help you guys in a lot of the physical health sense. Where I do think that I benefit a lot of people is in my understanding of this plant. And I think that in the plant, there is an excessive amount of benefit in a very small package. It's understanding that we can't expect too much of it, and knowing that if we give a proper effort towards cannabis and ourselves, that we have a very good potential to get out of the miserable fucking place that we're in and into a better place. And it can be psychological, it can be physiological, it can be anatomical, where I've literally seen glory stories, and I don't try to preach them all the time, but there is something to be said about how this thing regulates our naturally occurring systems in our bodies. And the fact that it so synergistically plays with our immune system, the fact that it so synergistically plays with our nervous system, right? There is a lot to be said for this plant that we haven't deeply understood. And even then, that's me speaking on it as I hopes that everybody who should have access to it, and I don't know who that is, but I promise you, any single individual with epilepsy, if you're not consuming some level of CBD or some level of cannabis grade product, you might not be getting the most benefit, and you might not be getting the gentlest benefit that there is out there. And there are plenty of Western medicines, and there are plenty of Eastern medicine, plant medicines that exist that work very well for different conditions, including epilepsy. But the level of decreasing in epileptic seizure that I've seen from countless amounts of especially the youth, right? There's not, I promise you, there's nothing more shitty to watch than a child that you can't help. When I was just talking about these unspoken expectations and our willingness to give so much to somebody else without ever saying a word, if a child isn't that, you're probably a savage. But if a child with a condition, a medical condition that is harder for them, they have no control over, right? It's very disheartening, and to have the tool to do it with is unbelievably effing cool, and I've watched it happen. So that's it. I hope that everybody, the other point that I want to make to this too, and this goes into what these folks were speaking on too, we seek happiness with quite regularity, right? Because our minds, and this plays into some of the relationship and some of the work stuff and some of whatever, our mind, our brains are not a computing system for happiness, okay? That is not what this thing was put in place for. We've hijacked it in a way, and we've found a pleasure place inside of it where things of the dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin regulations can cause us to have great euphorias and great senses of godliness or out of bodiness or spirituality or universal connection or whatever it is that happens through the chemicals that play in our brain. It can cause us to feel levels of euphoria and can get us almost drunk on ideas, right? That's why we all get real happy in the job for like 9 months to a year, and then we get burnt the fuck out. That's why divorce rate is at an all-time high, because a year after, and look at the 1 year divorce rate. It's because a year later, it's like, fuck, that's not, well, fuck that up. Well, it's because the commitment and that thing that we feel initially, that intoxication, that high, it's so pleasing to this factory that we have up here. But this factory that's up here wasn't made as a pleasure thing, right? It wasn't made to be satisfied all the time. What it was actually made to do was to keep you safe. It was to make sure that you weren't getting hurt. And I think a lot of times after the 9 months or the 1 year or the whatever, we go, holy shit, I've allowed this person to hurt me a bunch. I've unspokenly had a bunch of expectations. I've premeditated so much resentment that now it's built up to a point of, you know, what am I going to do? I don't want to do this anymore. It's actually, it doesn't make me happy anymore. And is it even safe for me, right? Because this person's willing to hurt me. Well, hurt you how? With your unspoken expectations? Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make sense once we speak it out loud and once we reflect on what we've done and whatever. But, like, it's also maybe we don't have the tools to make it work. Maybe we don't have the skills to sit inside the thought process that it would take to overcome some of the things that we're going through, right? And we're purely, and they speak about it too, you're purely a product of your environment. right? Your parents, your loved ones, your ex-relationship, whoever hurt you in the past, that ex-relationship is part of your new relationship. Um, they go on to speak about everything that you've gone through because that's the lens that you see through. That's the way your soup up here is operating and filtering. And it's not to be rude towards anybody or anything. It's to keep you safe. It's to make sure that you don't get hurt in the same ways that you have felt hurt in the past. But it's also, too, having the tools to understand what hurt is and how to deal with said hurt and overcoming that, because there is possibly, and typically I would even say, an ability to find a resolution within yourself. It's not that you're going to find a resolution in the world, right? The job still treated you like shit. They didn't fucking ever recognize you. But eventually, you recognized your worth. You went out, applied at the other place, got the fucking better title, got the better job. All of a sudden, you're more accepted. You're in that honeymoon phase again of some shit. And maybe you have the ability to grow within that, right? And we're all just looking to be satisfied in some capacity. But I kept going, okay, well, that's all in this dopamine oxytocin regulation. That's trying to find the thing that's going to satisfy our brain. But wonder if it's cannabis for some of us. And is that a terrible thing? Right? The amount of times, how many of all of you said, Mary Jane ain't never argued with me. I never had Mary Jane argue with me. I've never gone through that's the best friend I've ever had. Because she's always there and she always has my back. And we can confidently say it's a she because all of the fruit-bearing plants, all of the plants that produce the THC richness are female plants. Again, it's just, what is it that what are we all doing here, my man? And I hope that, if nothing else, it is being happy, right? It's not seeking happy, it's being happy. It's understanding the contentness and the acceptance of yourself, but your place within the world and in this place, right? Like, what, okay, and if tomorrow didn't come, what's the difference, right? And it would be terrible for everybody else, but individually in the soup that's going on upstairs for you, you go, well, I don't really know what the difference would be. And what was my impact today? And maybe not what was my impact, because I don't need to, again, satisfy everybody else and please everybody else and make everybody else happy. I need to find that contentness and that happiness within myself. And once I have, because I think that I have, and I think that I speak on it because I'm comfortable. I've used tons of cognitive behavioral therapies in my life, friends. I've paid people to sit down and have conversations with who are more capable of helping me through my thought process than I was getting through it myself. There's a lot of times that I think self-meditation in sitting in cannabis gave me it undoubtedly gave me the ability to overcome the intense anxieties and the intense depressions that are caused by the letdowns of many of my unspoken expectations, right? Because there's a ton of personal resentments and things that come about, and then you start to hold it against everybody else, and then you become sour towards everything. And for what? Right? Because at the end of this, we all know that there's a plant out there that we all love. We all know that there's a group out there that we can always go to. I don't say it lightly, and I don't mean this just because I'm trying to get fucking followers or none of it. I genuinely have enough capacity in my heart. I love all of you that listen to me speak like this. I love anybody. Like, I have such a capacity to give, and I'm not hurting myself. I'm not depleting from myself in such a way. But in saying that, like, the reason I'm telling you is because you're not alone in this. And for you to sit in that and go, nobody's got my back. No, you're lying to yourself. And for me to ever say that, when I'm really frumping it, I promise you, I know that I have some people that would have my back. I've called Guapo on many instances and said, hey, bro, I just got to talk to you about life, bro. Tell me about fucking life. Talk to Biz about it. Ganja Toker, don't even want to fucking start that. That dude has listened to me fucking crying on the phone 2 o'clock in the fucking morning before. Y'all got to have somebody. And if you let it be me, if y'all need somebody to talk to like that, right? I'm not scared to do that with any one of you. There is a comfort in knowing you're not alone. I don't need to be around everybody all the time, right? And I do like my own personal space. But when I need to rationalize some thoughts, and when I need some people to go, no, you're okay, right? Like and listen, even if it's as simple as, hey man, let's make it fucking PG legal over here or whatever the hell we're doing. Oh, you've just smoked too much cannabis. It's okay, brother. Just breathe. I got your back. What do you need? Some water or some whatever, right? And for all of us, we go, that's simple and that's easy. But I'm telling you right now, the amount of people that are going to the hospital because of cannabis use, I'm sitting here going, man, you got shit fucking friends. I feel bad for these people. Y'all, they should, anybody who goes to the hospital for cannabis use should have to come on a Thursday night stream. Sit here, listen, be part of the friendship. I got love for them too. I don't really give a shit. I just honestly, it blows my mind that we still are still self-deprecating at the rate that we are, and we are not progressing past some of the differences that it seems like everybody's like, I don't really know. And then I speak to the younger generation, right? A lot of us are younger generation, and even the ones here who aren't younger generation are younger generation even, right? We don't see the world in the same way. We had bad jokes that we used offensive words in the past, and we all have said a bunch of words that maybe are offensive to other folks currently, and we wouldn't use them to offend anybody. We were around in a day and age when they were more commonly spoken, and we still have our trivial slips and our, but do it in the proper company, correct? Right? Like, we all have to know where that's at, and we shouldn't be using words to hurt anybody to begin with, but we've become sensitive in many ways, but it's as a younger generation, we've allowed everybody. What do you mean? We've grown up with every color of the rainbow, every type of, whatever, and we all are a bunch of like fucking cannabis consumers. We're smoking together, we're chilling, we're going to concerts together, we're experiencing life together. Right? Just I think through what I listened to today, it's to understand that, like, find yourself. Once you find yourself, find your group, I guess, really. And then, like, how much more do you need, right? And if you have to filter every 9 months or every year or whatever and cycle through some things, that's life, baby. It's unfortunate. But in some things, we can make bigger commitments. In some things, it's okay to take the extra few moments and go, you know what? My health is worth it. Instead of just going to the doctor all of the time because I'm unhealthy, perhaps this time I'll go to the gym a few more times, right? Perhaps this time I'll look at a dieting book a little bit more than I'll watch the television. This time I'll consider using maybe a little bit more plant medicine than these synthesized chemicals that I know are really just pounding the fuck out of my liver, are attacking my heart. There's a lot of instances where we've become complacent, we've become lazy, and we're not taking care of ourselves. And it's because we just need to satisfy everybody else. And if the lawman is saying the way that you got to satisfy yourself to make sure you're taking care of yourself is to get health insurance, and you better have health insurance, well, you're like, I should use it, I guess, right? If I'm forced to have it, if that's the thing everybody's got to have and everybody's got to do. And then what ends up being unfortunate is that we, yeah, and I've taken this to a different extreme here, but the medicines that we use can be desperately harmful at times. I don't know, right? I think cannabis is a tool that allows you personal freedoms and allows you the ability to internally, personally reflect on what it is that you desire. It puts you in a comfortable enough space, if you use the thing correctly, to both psychologically and physiologically exist within yourself, to get through most days. And then not only that, to actually, because using cannabis allows the brain to kind of think a little bit more. So I saw this thing lately where, like, the brain's kind of fluid, and Alex talked about it too, but I saw kind of how the brain clings for different things, and there was like this little mapping of this little guy trying to find different molecules or whatever, and we're very transitory in some of the ways we connect and we perceive and we think, right? I don't know what my full thought there was. Yeah, I apologize. I started to think about what Alex was talking about in the thought process there, and then I got lost again. Because when I try to analyze Alex's thoughts and his words, it sends my brain into a very deep state of analysis. I don't remember. Boy, I don't. I'm gonna smoke this thing in front of me. Let me catch up on some comments section here. I don't remember what it was, but hey, I'll get back to it. I promise you, I'm really good at this eventually. Honeycomb, hell yeah. Oh my God, Alyssa, I can't wait. Has anyone tried the Puffco Peak? I got one. Here you go. Not the pro, but the regular one. I had a regular one before, Chi-Town. I'm sorry for not answering your question sooner. Oh, cuz. Hello. Hi, Gretz. Hey, +1. And Dudley. Shit, okay, stop. Okay, awesome. Oh, it's our friend. Oh, our friend Mark Sloan. Holy shit, this tastes good. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? What if God was one of us? Huge the bongs like one of us. And all day long. You should just said that before, like so, but hell no, that's fire. What's up, Chi-Town High Five? Oh, Chi-Town, how about it? Isn't he great? Oh, I do love some cognitive behavioral therapy. Chi-Town, I could have listened for 3 more hours. I love that dude. Anyway, sorry. I enjoy having the deep intellectual connectivity between different aspects of life, right? The different things that I hear go on, I'm always able to kind of go, wow, cannabis really plays a part or could help um, move these processes along. And as a lifelong advocate, right? And I would say lifelong in the sense that since I've been on a mission, right? And I maybe 15, 16, I really started to take up this idea that cannabis had to be the next thing, right? Even where my mom was like, maybe you should move to Colorado, right when I got like out of high school and shit. You should move to Colorado, really go pursue this, you know? You know, maybe. But then it came here, and I've had the opportunity to pursue it here as a real life career, as something that has given to me a couple of different ways. And I let me do this. I just saw this thing playing in the corner again. Don't know if I do it right. Don't know what to do with life. But have you seen the moon tonight? I really would like to see this plant evolve from Squirtle to War Turtle already, right? We're not even going all the way to Blastoise yet. And for those of you who don't know the reference, you know, if like it's like if it's if Babe Ruth was Baby Ruth, you know what I mean? It's just not fully there, you know? You got to develop. And cannabis has a lot of phases of growth to go through, I think, at least in the day and age of, I mean, guys, think about it. Like 1996 was when California got medicinal, right? That's almost 30 years ago. And a lot of us are going, yeah, it's a long time. Is it though, really? I mean, is it unfortunate that laws do not progress any faster than that? Oh, it's desperately unfortunate. Because we have far better abilities to communicate. We have the ability to measure at a rate that we didn't before, right? And we understand that on an LD50 test, the toxicology and the toxicity of cannabis, right? We understand the toxicity. I mean, we understand that it is not going to be something that necessarily is death causing, all right? At least by individual use, and at least by moderated small use, right? In the long term, could it be detrimental? And that's what Alex and I were kind of seriously hammering about, the ideas of like maybe having those plant lipids or the sugars or whatever isn't beneficial to your lungs, but maybe it is beneficial to the delivery of the product at some point. How far, where is the tipping point where this thing is absolutely beneficial and where it is where it's just a general fuck it all, right? Where it becomes another, and all of us know that it is not just another alcohol, right? There's plenty of correlatable aspects of this thing, including the intoxication, right? The industry in plenty of ways, the progression of it, the criminalization to decriminalization, there's a lot of correlatable instances where you would go, okay, we'll follow along those paths, right? but it doesn't seem to be happening that way. It's also slower to go on. And more than not, we're pretending that it is a far more retail iPhone experience. And a lot of people just don't understand the general simplicities of cannabis. And that's why, speaking to Alex, having the man who is that good at molecularly speaking cannabis, but not in an overwhelming capacity. I, like I said, I'm unbelievably grateful to have the opportunities that I do. I'm unbelievably grateful to Guapo, putting himself out there, getting us connected to some people, and then allowing us the opportunities to get in the face of some really cool people. God damn it, the stream's great again. Guys, if I'm so sorry. Also, when it did that, it showed me how few likes there are. Oh my god, and now you all have disappeared because the stream is fucking lagging. Maybe I just gotta stop using that. Maybe it's killing that thing. Alright. I had to turn off maybe the extra background. It's just internet's choppy. Sorry, friends who I've lost. But I also saw how many likes there were. Fix it. At least give me the 5 of you who are here. Hit the like button. I think we had 8 or 10 at some point. The only reason we're hitting the like button, it's again, I have nothing. I don't care, right? I just want to help as many fucking people as I can. Really, man, I feel like there's something in the plant and in my understanding of the plant. And perhaps I just got to talk to more people like Alex, who can take the words that I'm asking. And I asked like a basic consumer some of the questions about like a D9 and shit. I wanted to hear a scientist's interpretation of. And I love that he's not super... He doesn't care about the word medicinal. He doesn't care about the word sativa or indica. He doesn't like, and those things don't matter to me as much either. That's why you see me throw up air quotes a lot when I talk about cannabis. I've said medical use, schmedical use doesn't mean anything to me. Personal use cannabis is the best interpretation of the use that you're going to do. But it's cannabis. It's using the plant and having its benefit, right? And I think that, yeah, like I said, I think my interpretation of it and my understanding of it, hold on one second. Sorry. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I just, yeah. I would love to help people with this plan. I was talking to a guy this week. Gave me a great perspective at some things. He said, "Hey, man, you know, I think you're really, I think you're quite exceptional of a brain for this thing, and I respect you as much as I do anybody in the industry. But do you ever think that, like, maybe if you just took your skills and used them and maximized them in a different setting, that you could make more money?" I said, "Yeah, you're probably right." He goes, "Listen, I just don't want to see you confine yourself to a space, especially if you're trying to do sales in this space, to a market that you are confined with by borders, right? You don't have the ability to go outside of. And whoa, John, let's fucking go. There's my guy. What's up, brother? God, John, you've missed a lot of good cannabis talk. Well, you're not gonna. John, did you happen to catch the latest elevated news podcast with Two Dope Dudes? How great is Alex, bro? Oh, thank you. Alex is just such an exceptional cannabis mind. And, yeah. Ooh! Gotta get you some of that CO2 every once in a while. Wait. H2O. Remember I said it's all... no, it's different. It's all different. Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. What a wild thing. What a wild thing to have a job over. What a wild thing to have to get fingerprinted and wear a badge around my neck for. What a wild... We're going to look back, hopefully, in the next 30 years, because cannabis is only, I was just telling y'all, since 96, I think, is when California got medical cannabis around. So for 30 years, I wonder where we evolve in the next 30 years with cannabis, right? And that's why I'm saying we're in the infancy. We are Charmander, and we are not even Charmeleon yet. All right, we're about to get a bigger tail here pretty soon, a much larger body, and a much barkier face, right? Like, so when does it happen? Who pulls the plug? At what time is it? Is it this? Is it this term? Is it next term? Who's the most? What interest group does it most satisfy to change the regulations that govern cannabis, at least at a federal level, right? And I think at this point it's crazy not to. And if nothing else, what you should do is, like Alex said the other day, and if you listen to the podcast, you'll understand that. Too many people who have too much money invested into this thing aren't willing to let other people just hurry up and come take everything from them, right? So the idea is that this industry in Illinois, let's say, I think it's 1.5 billion, Michigan 3.3 billion. The $1.5 billion Illinois market isn't that big, right? Not when fucking NVIDIA loses $580 billion of valuation overnight because of fucking one app getting dropped, right? There's no way that DeepSeek, I don't know if y'all know about this or you don't need to know about it or whatever, right? But recently there was a new AI app that got dropped. It's called DeepSeek. Okay, if you haven't seen it, that it's scoring better as an AI app than ChatGPT, than Sora. And if you don't know what Sora is, okay, come on now, guys, let's get out there now. But $580 billion worth of valuation. Now it's just purely valuation, but imagine, that's like 11 and a half, 12 years of the current cannabis market's entire fucking sales across the entire fucking nation. That's not profit, right? That is sales. They did $50 billion in sales, right? These motherfuckers lost $580 billion of valuation in one day. So 11 years wiped out in one fucking day. Think of that. Okay? So as far as small fish, as far as these guys who are in the market right now doing cannabis, for all of us going, oh, well, let me in there. I could do it. Let me be a crafter. Let me be a whatever. You would, if you had the actual backing that some of the people do, let a fucking Tesla go build a fucking mega factory for cannabis production or hemp production. He would just buy half of Texas, fucking just turn it into a hemp field, right? And then just process cannabinoids. He'd probably buy a yeast field and then just process cannabinoids, but totally different. Doesn't really matter. And how the fuck do you compete with Tesla weed? If the shit flies to you at your house, delivered by Amazon drones, you know what I mean? What the fuck are we talking about? How the fuck is anybody out there? How the fuck is the places that me and John work at gonna ever fucking survive? Me, John, Timmy B, fucking Seymour Butts. We all, well, drummer was recently. Oh man, I feel bad. I was gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, John. But we all currently exist in these cannabis markets. If that changes, if we allow big monsters to come into the fucking markets, do all of us lose our jobs immediately? Or would we just start getting bought out by Kraft and PepsiCo and fucking whatever, right? Now all of a sudden you're gonna have some vanilla Coke, fucking Baja Blast with your fucking eighth, you know, one free freezy, 99 cents freezy, large one. Next year it's $1.29. Next year it's $3.50. Inflation's a bitch, motherfucker. Give me $10. Get out of here. You ain't getting no joint this time. Just give me $10 and leave, ho. You know, like, yeah. I don't know. We all know the money just gets. But who knows what happens in the, you know? I don't know. I don't know. What does it matter? Because at least we have access to it, and as long as it's like, I still prefer the plant. No offense to Alex and the CRISPR yeast weed. I think I'm gonna probably stick to raw plant, like organic, you know. I just said organic, and fucking Guap was ready to jump through the fucking screen and punch me in the face. He's like, "You smoking some shit, dog? Ain't organic." Yeah. All right. Sorry. I don't know what it is. It might be some bit more organic. Don't panic, you know. Anyway, I like the plant. I like the cannabis plant. I like the whole plant experience. I like to have all the terpenoids, all the cannabinoids, all the sugars and plant fats and lipids, the sticks and the leaf matter and the everything. I'll take all of it in a combustion form. Yeah. That old wacky tobacco, you know? Oh shit. Friends, I'm gassed. I'm a tired friend. I'm not gonna leave yet. I'm still here for a little bit. I just, you know. What do we got a birthday? Somebody's birthday's coming up in the stream. We know? Have Lyman? Who's Is one of y'all got a birthday coming up in the beginning of February or something? Yeah, we ain't worried about that, Seymour. I'm disappearing this time. I'm out.
Take me higher, baby. Can you feel it? Feel it. Feel it.
What up, Seymour?
Feel it.
How the fuck you doing?
Do you feel the same weed high?
Man, Seymour, I think, you know what? You should, I think you may appreciate it. The beginning of this conversation that I had tonight, I recommend you consider listening. There's some good shit in there. I really felt good about, as I actually literally, it's been a long time, man. I can show you. I wrote notes and took notes on my phone for what to actually talk about tonight. Because I heard, like I said, I heard some concepts. I listened to some really knowledgeable folks speak on some topics of conversation that were correlatable back to cannabis, but also very psychologically stimulating. Something that helped me feel reassured and comfortable, and there's a lot of things that, like, you can take from something like that, you know, just the reflection in it. And I respect cannabis, and I think that all of us probably come together because of our love for this plant. I respect this thing infinitely more after looking at it through the lens that I have been today. And I think that my love for this plant grows constantly. But the idea that it has allowed me to fight the fear that you see. I literally, okay, and on this notepad right here, I'm going to tell you exactly what it says really quick. It's just a few concepts. This lady, Jillian Turecki, I believe is her name. I'm sorry if I massacred that, but she wrote a book called It Begins With You. The concept, the ideas, one of the big ones is the fear that you are not enough, right? We all exist with that. And I correlating it back to cannabis and how cannabis has allowed me to sit interpersonally inside myself and both intrapersonally, interpersonally and intrapersonally, to find a more meaningful purpose, I guess, for myself, right? It's allowed me to feel more comfortable with me, right? There's plenty of times where I question it and I doubt it, and I know that, like, you know, you're really conceited or weird or whatever if you think that you're deserving of anything, right? You're selfish if you believe you have these expectations, right? But that also dwells into one of the other concepts that, oh, and I'm going to restate this or re-say this one again too, because it's a fucking fantastic statement. Unspoken expectations are premeditated resentment. Right? Again, one more time. Unspoken expectation. The things that we don't say to somebody, but we do expect inside ourselves, are premeditated resentment. Okay, so even in the workspace, right? When you guys are around me and you go, man, that motherfucker could have just walked over here and helped us, because look at us suffering with that line out there. Little do you guys know that I'm doing more than helping, right? Like, I'm taking in the order. I'm preventing you from having senior leadership. I'm fixing the computer to make sure that it doesn't crash. I'm, you know, and it's not that, like, I've got to fucking toot anything, but, like, in the moment, you don't know any of that, right? But in the moment, your expectation is, bro, stop what you're doing for a second. Look at how busy it is here. Come help the fuck out, right? But they're unspoken. You don't say that, right? And the expectations you have of me coming without saying anything will only lead, they are premeditated resentment. You didn't think about it, but you're premeditating it because you've unspoken your expectations. That allows whatever you've got going on to be a premeditated resentment. You immediately, and expectations are so selfish, right? Now, in what I'm saying, it begins with you. You kind of have to be selfish, correct? But to be unspoken in your selfishness and to be unable to explain why you have to be selfish in certain settings is very tough to do. But with cannabis, it's easier to sit within yourself and to have these thoughts go on, but it's arguably easier to sit down intrapersonally with someone else and to have these conversations go on. If you can smoke, sometimes it allows the words to just come out of your mouth a little bit easier. I don't know what it is. There's always a thing with me where if I'm like, I gotta say something to somebody, but I'm struggling to get the words out of my mouth because I don't want to sound weird. I don't want to hurt somebody. I don't want to, in that always wanting to satisfy somebody, always keeping them happy. I've gone through so many unspoken expectations, right? Because I'm going, okay, well, to satisfy you, I'm going to do X, Y, Z and ABC and the rest of the alphabet too. But through all of that, I was hoping that at least you gave me like one of the letters back. But that's selfish of you because you never spoke that you needed that. And now you've gone so far in not saying something that you dwell in a place of resentment. And I think that cannabis is a damn good tool to help bridge the gaps between some of the things that we are all dealing with in our lives. And it should help us sit down and think to ourselves and some of the racy thoughts that we go through, some of the things that people go to the hospital over, the idea that their brain is firing at an excessive rate. I can't stop my brain. It's thinking too much. I'm too racy. Okay, well, that is a true reaction of what cannabis does. It constantly is firing for more of something. It's trying to think of new things. It's actually working. And because you're moving from place to place and you're unable to stay within a certain range of thought for too long because you're not used to controlling this, you've done too much, now you've got racy, snappy fucking thoughts. Now all of a sudden, you're suffering from it so much that you've become hospitalized. But in knowing that, like, this is not that harmful of a thing, in also knowing proper use of this thing, we all have had the ability to use those excessive thoughts to find places of comfort within ourselves. And for a lot of people who are going through some shit in life, regardless of what it is, psychological or physiological, right? Or just innately anatomical, right? Where you're born with it. You just have to deal with the deterioration at that rate. I think that having a mild general fuck it all and a mild general comforter, right? Like something that deals with most symptoms, probably isn't bad. In small doses, right? And with the proper level of representation. And I say that because, like, if you made the yeast THC and it was clean enough and you could show on paper that it was 99.99% pure Delta 9 THC and it's been converted from whatever its state is and that's what it sits as, I believe that using it as a THC alternative for things like edibles or things of that nature would be completely okay. But I love the cleanliness and the cleanness and the wholeness and the fullness of the plant. And I love the entourage effect. I love the sativa or indica properties. I don't really care which one. Make my brain go down. Make my brain go up. Make me feel the comfort of my muscles being relaxed. Make me feel the comforts of the easing of my stomach discrepancies, we'll call them, because whatever issues. There's so many comforts that exist within this thing that it becomes it's like a Swiss Army knife. It's literally a thing that helps you overcome the fear that you're not enough. It allows you to dwell in a space, or hopefully it helps you sit in that space for a moment, and through cognitive behavioral therapy or cognitive coaching, or just hearing the proper rhythm of words so that you go, wow, that actually just connected with me. It makes sense. And like, we are all a product of the instances that we exist around, right? And I spoke it before, you're a product of your past relationships, of your past bosses, of your teachers, of your I said relationship? Yeah, probably your parents. Anyway, you become a product of all of that. You're a sum of that. And it's not that you constantly walk around like the asshole or whoever that really misrepresented you, but it very much so allows you to unconsciously you stop taking care of you put up a barrier and you stop taking care of yourself, right? You instead of dealing with it, you stay well, I mean, like, I came back to this idea. Again, we have to remember, and this was the other part of this whole talk that I talked about earlier too, and now you're going to listen to me go through a loop if you go back and listen at the beginning, but just to sum it all and to bring it back, again, our mind, our brain is to keep us safe. Our brain is literally in our cranium to help us calculate how not to get eaten by a bear. It's far more wired for a reaction if we feel like we have been attacked, right? Than it is to figure out how to dwell in a space that we feel the euphorias of intoxication, and those intoxications even being things as general as the feeling of love, right? The oxytocin dump that generally happens with the connection of love, right? So, what up, Gare Bear? How are you, brother? This is a metaphorical example. I think the thing is that I'm probably a lot more metaphorical in some of the things I speak about. I probably have more of a philosophized look at everything, right? A little bit more of a I would say spiritual, I like to connect all of the things, and I've told you all before that I think probably more in emotion than I do in words at times. So when I'm able to connect all of it back to like this common thread of there is a there's a purpose why all of these things are kind of going, and if you measure them all equally, and at the same time, if you take into effects the ideas that we are just a soup in our brain, that we are the product of the physical existence and the experiences that we've had, but then like you know, we also are impacted and molded by all of the outer environment, um, the emotional part of it, the feeling part of it, the I don't know how to explain it. I think it's the thing that we feel and why we use cannabis so much. It's why we use intoxicants. Why we try to find that third eye. It, I think metaphorical is a good word, but I also think that, you know, spiritual, but also very much so in the nod to cannabis, because it is the thing that I constantly run to for psychological comforts or interpersonal experiences. I constantly am calling friends and going, hey, you just want to come over and smoke? Like, I literally just want to smoke with you. And in just smoking with you, we're going to have a conversation about whatever the fuck, right? Like, a lot of us talk about disc golf. A lot of us talk about life. A lot of us talk about fucking cannabis. A lot of us talk about whatever, right? Like, in just having the few moments of excessive connection, it gives you a sense of community. It gives you a sense of self-purpose, and it also helps satisfy this idea that you are enough. You have something, or there is something there that will satisfy us all in a very personal, but also euphoric, right? Like there's a nice comfort that comes with cannabis, type of way, but also the sense of community that it brings, right? And the I've talked about it a lot. Passing a joint, passing a pipe, being in a circle, the pack mentality that comes with sharing. Yeah, cannabis is the thing. Oh man, you're making the world go a lot better, Gare Bear. Every day I feel better about it. And like, you know, I mean, I talked about this guy here. It's some synthetic cannabinoid that I've heard now twice. Okay, I've heard this cannabinoid get brought up twice. It's called 5-fluoro-ABP or ABB. I couldn't understand when this lady said it, but this is the one that I was able to find after typing in a lot of things. And it does even say, is an analytical reference material that is structurally similar to known synthetic cannabinoids, right? And when you look at the structure, you see this thing. I tied all of the idea that you can literally see cannabis, kind of. I mean, there's excessive molecules that exist on this thing, but the chain itself has a very common structure, right? And they're trying to speak on the idea that there are harmful and potentially, this is one of them. This is the harmful synthetic cannabinoid that's gonna, the cannabinoid, it's cannabinoid, and like their ability to tie loosely interpretable chemical structures, right? Go listen to Alex speak about it, alright? If you haven't, the most recent episode of Elevated News Podcast with Two Dope Dudes, it's linked up above our heads. Guapo may be even kind enough to link it again, just so that everybody has a fresh copy of the link. Has Alex speaking on what cannabis, or what the molecule looks like before it goes through the destructure, alright? He said it looks like a pretty flat line. All right, comes like a flat line, and then it kind of folds in on itself in a couple of like these guys here. What is this? A hexagon, a helix, a hexagon. This is a pentagon. Like it starts to fold in on itself. A pental. It starts to fold in on itself, and when it does, it comes from this into this, and then every time that it loses another one of these molecules, another carbon atom, and we can look at the molecular chain for THC if we wanted to so that we can see the difference, but it's just the idea that this chain could break down, and through the different structural breakdown, we call it something different every time that it changes. But cannabinoids are just protectants of the plant, right? He said that essentially, like, the plant as it stands is more of probably a these are used to protect it from like sunburn and shit, essentially, right? But these also help break down some of the sugars and the glucoses in the shit, so that this plant can synthesize the sun into an energy source, and then it grows its plants, its fruits, right? And then them fruits grow up into beautiful things that we can bust into our lungs, or vaporize into our lungs, or extract into different glorious, beautiful extractions or infusions that allow, or topicals that allow us levels of comfort that otherwise aren't experienced by just sitting around breathing air. And it's not that breathing air should like you shouldn't always have like find the comfort in breathing air, right? That's being happy. But to find a comfort in something that is so immediately gratifying is now becoming more readily available. It sucks that it's still criminalized. It sucks that people still are profiting off of the criminalization of people who have cannabis in possession. I think a lot of us probably are in possession of such a small amount of it that you wouldn't be deemed like some terrible felon or anything, right? But like, if you go over your 30 grams, heavens forbid. If you've got more than 5 grams of concentrate, heaven forbid, right? And that's just in Illinois. That's what we're allowed to have. 500 milligrams edible, man, you better watch the fuck out, because that's too much of that. We'll tell you when too much is too much. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I can go buy this every single day? Yeah, but you can't have more than that at one time. What the fuck am I gonna do with it? Like, what in the fuck is the harm in anybody having any of this plant? Right? Sup, bruh? God, ganja toker. Fucking guy. But yeah, we, I don't know, friends. I don't know. I love this plant. I forever will. I want people to fucking understand it so that we're not going through this same shit. I want to know why people are still getting criminalized and put into jail because of the possession of. And if it's because we all know that it's because the police department makes fucking excess money from it, or the government makes money from it, or whatever, then we're in this weird place of taxation without representation. You're willing to make hundreds of millions of dollars off of the people of your communities, but you're also willing to then make hundreds of millions of dollars off of incriminating them from the same thing you're taxing them for. Like, well, they need to know the parameters of with which you can buy and use and take and do. Shut the fuck up with that, man. That's crazy as hell. That's taxation without representation. I wish we had some people in boats with some tea, man. Just kick that shit off there. Nice to hear me curse. Oh no. I don't like cursing. I gotta stop cursing. So it's just when I get too excited. Ron Paul was right. Yeah, I mean, fucking golly. There's a lot of people that really fucking understand it, man. And we're in for it, friends. Sometimes I think about it and I go, hey, at least we only got another, I don't know, you take the average, 40 some years, maybe, whatever. Maybe not even that much. We might even cross the halfway point. Who even knows? But then also, you're like, shit, if that's a reality, what are all the experiences that we could have? And why does it gotta be so miserable? And is it really that miserable? Am I just allowing it to be that miserable? Is there more that I can do to make myself get away from this constant misery, right? And why would I allow myself to allow others to put me in a place of this constant misery, right? It begins with you, my friends, and I give a mad tip of the hat to Jillian Turecki for giving me that just little phrase today, for helping me, right? Chris Williamson and Modern Wisdom. It's a podcast I was listening to. If y'all want to listen to it, I beg you to try it out. It speaks on relationships. I don't know if y'all need to hear about relationships, but it's not that. And I'll tell you the honest to God truth, the lady isn't as interesting maybe at times as he is. He says a few more things that like keep the conversation going in the right way, and she says some things that are quite aggravating to me personally and individually, but it's not like that's not why I listen to things, right? It's to interpret from the conversation that I heard, and I maybe listened to 30-40 minutes of it. I don't even know, may not even been that much. I respect the thoughts that I've had going on, and especially the thoughts that I've had going on over the plant, and how the misinterpretation of a molecular chain, of a chain that is constantly evolving, that is maybe just a sunblock for the plant, that is a catalyst to helping break down the sugars and the fats that the plant needs to continue life and to bud and to give flowers, and the flowers then for us to consume and enjoy, for all living creatures to use as different levels of comforts, right? And if your simple comfort is nothing more than intoxication, then I think you deserve that too. But this is one of the most beautiful plants that this world will ever probably know, right? And it's not that there are plenty of plants that aren't beautiful, but to me, the, again, Swiss Army knife-ness of this, the applicability, the ability to be so versatile, but then to be so impactful when used correctly, when given more than just a high THC percentage, when given more than just a really catchy name, when given something more than just a better flavor, right? When you really experience the plant for its wholeness, right? When you experience more than just the THC intoxication and the simple fuck it all of this plant, you then really might have access to something that isn't... No, that is, right? It's something that is. It's something that has the potential to do it for you. And I only say it because I've watched it over and over and over again. And again, if you only need it for a fuck it all, that's what we're doing here, right? That's what this whole conversation was today, was to loop it all back to the idea that you are enough. You have always been enough, right? You fear that you're not, right? But you fear because you haven't allowed for the growth past it, for the protection from it. And a good way to be safe from fear is to experience, is to have the conversations, is to say the words, right? The best way to move past and to not resent, to not hold long-term resentments, is to be short-term, maybe a little bit more humiliated. Maybe to live a little bit more in the humility of the moment and to say, you know what? I will just say those words. I will just say what I have to say to get through to the person I'm trying to connect with, right? And if it's the most significant love of your life, I hope you do that correctly. If it's your boss or your co-workers, I hope you know how to navigate that correctly. And if you see yourself being short and you find yourself getting a little bit incapable of the communications, I beg you to reconsider trying using some CBD with consistency and smoking more indicas. A lot of people doing too much sativa out there. I argue this at work a lot. A lot of people smoke sativas. No, I need sativa. It makes me all uplifted and happy and ha 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 ha. Well, no, you're gonna be happy because, like Alex spoke about in the podcast, if you guys didn't listen to it, it's the Elevated News podcast with Two Dope Dudes. If you haven't listened to the most recent episode with Alex on it, you should go listen to it. But yeah, what the hell was I saying we talked about on there? That was a good one. That's the truth. I don't fucking remember, yo. Every time I go to plug that thing, I forget what the fuck I'm talking about. All good. Meant to come in around 8:45. Oh! What do you say? The same thing? What the hell do I say? What did I say? Fuck, man. Hell, I gotta pee. Well, that's too fucking... Listen. Let me do this. I'm talking too much. I'm being ridiculous. Let me turn this on. Let me give you all just a moment of... Hold on, how do I hit the extension thingy here? There we go. Boom. What? Here we go. Alright, y'all enjoy some nice visualizations. No, smoke some more indica. Indicas. Oh, yeah. Don't smoke so many sativas, man. Everybody says, oh, Alex was talking about set and setting. When you're consuming cannabis, thank you all for listening. Man, I don't know what the fuck I'd do without all of y'all. I should probably smoke some more indica, too. Just do it right from the beginning, and then it's easier to do it right. No, but you're absolutely right. Everybody says, I need more sativas to be uplifted, energetic, euphoric. That's the only way, because I love sativas. I love sativas. Well, it's setting, right? Like, if you're... And he said the same thing with alcohol. Think about it like this, too. And all of you can probably respect this. You've probably had some alcoholic beverages. We're all allowed to. If you drink alcohol sitting at home in a dark room by yourself, you're probably going to be more sedative and actually fall asleep, right? If you drink alcohol at your house with some music going and maybe a friend or two over, you're going to be more uplifted and having fun and whatever. If you drink alcohol out at a fucking music concert, and it's your favorite band, and you know the words to every song, and you're at a beautiful music venue, and you got your best friends around, and they're consuming the same can of, oh, it's gonna be fucking in, or they're consuming the same alcohol that you are, you're high-fiving, and maybe even, whatever. You're gonna feel way better about it, right? It's gonna be just that much more euphoric. So setting can play a big factor in how we feel with the different effects of cannabis too. It's not always to call it sativa or indica or whatever, but I beg everybody, this kind of looks weird, doesn't it? This little, those things look like, if you had like a, I forget what the it's like people who are scared of like little bugs and shit. I do know the fucking word for it, but I can't come up with it. It's not arachnophobia, I promise you it's not. It's people who are like more like afraid of like the unseeable things. Like it's like almost like germs, but you're not a germaphobe. Anyway, somebody try and figure it out. Let me go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Don't forget, if you're here right now, hold on, let me just check one thing before I leave. There's fucking 2 likes on this thing. There's 9 people sitting here. I cannot even believe what's going on. I'll be back in a minute. I love you all, okay? Just, hey, check this out, too.
Hey, fentanyl ain't no good.
Now that the joint is burnt, then you got learned. Don't forget to do the YouTube things. Hit the like, leave a comment, and make sure the bell rings. We appreciate you. We love you. All we ask of you is that you support.
They're forming in straight line. They're going through a tight wind. The kids are losing their minds. The blitzkrieg bop. They're piling in the backseat. They're generating steam heat. Pulsating to the backbeat. Blitzkrieg bop. Hey ho, let's go. Shoot 'em in the back now. What they want, I don't know. They're all revved up and ready to go. They're forming in straight line. They're going through a tight one. The kids are losing their minds. The blitzkrieg bop. They're piling in the backseat. They're generating steam heat. Pulsating to the backbeat. The blitzkrieg bop. Hey ho, let's go. Shoot 'em in the back now. What they want, I don't know. They're all revved up and ready to go. They're forming in straight line. They're going through a tight one. The kids are losing their minds. The blitzkrieg bop. They're piling in the backseat. They're
Oh!
generating steam
Hello!
heat.
Alright, welcome back.
Pulsating to the backbeat. The blitzkrieg bop.
Look at this little flying thing. I liked it. How's the visualizations and the music been going? What happened here? 8 viewers, 5 likes. We're getting there. We're almost there. That's good, friends. All right. It's you know. Anyway, thanks, y'all. 10 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Like it up. Then send a friend. Okay. You got friends struggling, having a bad day? Send them to me. I got a weed. Okie doke. What what's new with everybody out there? Anybody out there got anything good to talk about? Y'all want to know more about cannabis? I'll tell you a lot more about it.
I walk along a thin line, darling. Dark shadows follow me. Here's where life's dream lies, disillusion. The edge of reality.
Oh. Man, you guys ever let your hot knife get unhot? Yep. Hot knives are cool, but they're also, I mean, it's way better than a not hot knife, I guess. We're talking about the Puffco hot knife here, friends. I like it. Electronic smoking devices let me down twice today. My main smoking device on the way to get into work today let me down. All right. Whilst I was at work, the other one died on me. Now, thank God, I work in a place that I can rectify a dead battery. You know what I mean? We had to do that. But golly, what a non-convenience. What an inconvenience to this damn electronic battery situation. Anyway, fucking modern day problems. I just need a display that says how many percents it's got left. You tell me how much percents it got left, I'm good at putting a fucking little plug into it in time, right? But when I don't know when the next time's supposed to be, Wop, I really appreciate you showing me this. This thing's real nice. I like watching the damn visualization. Now, listen, Seymour did offer me a battery. It's very kind, okay? But it was coming with a caveat, alright? Take my battery, I'm taking your life, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it felt like. I feel like it's schemed against quite a bit inside this place. Everybody trying to, you know, overthrow. So I genuinely have like one of the best. Man, things are gonna be so cool here in the very near. Oh, wow. Yeah, that shit just went blank. I did end up talking to our mutual friend. Now, do like me some Scotty, like me some Cam too, though.
Shadows follow me. Here's where life's dream lies, disillusion, the edge of reality. Oh, I can hear strange voices echo.
100%. Like them both.
The borderline of doom I'm facing, the edge of reality.
Or butane's gone. But the butane gone is, that's a quick fix. Unless it's in a fucking lighter, dude. That's a, well, I mean, like, in a torch, you know, gotta let the air get a little less butaned up. But, like, shit. The inconvenience of this, though? Oh my goodness. Wow, I love this thing. What? Dude, do you think I could I just want to, like, if I could screen record it or something, and then just use it as backgrounds forever. Oh yeah, bro, like, well, so, like, I think I might have psoriasis. Oh, god damn it. Fucking bit rate. Again, you know what it does every time the bit rate gets low on here? It knocks me over. It pumps the screen over and it shows me how many likes are on the video. And there's 9 people here and 5 likes. Y'all gotta just 1 second. Click out, hit the like button, and then come back. Just click out of the live chat really quick and then hit the thumbs up and then just go back 1 time. Just congruent amount of viewers and likes. That would be fire. 10. 10's what we need. Come on now.
On the edge of reality. Reality.
Oh.
Reality.
There's Lucy. What's up, Lucy and Anita? No, but yeah, I think I might got that psoriasis, dog. So, like, I get itchies everywhere, man.
Bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor. Beaten wife for can't take much more. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. 1, nothing wrong with me.
What a cool
2,
little
nothing
background.
wrong with me.
Holy
3,
cow.
nothing wrong with me. 4, nothing wrong with me.
Promise you, I should have.
Something's got to give. 2, something's got to give. 3, something's got to give now. Let the bodies hit the floor. 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 Let the bodies hit
Anyway.
the floor. Let the bodies
Oh shit, should I go back and look?
push me
You guys do it?
again.
1! 1?
Is the end.
11 of you. 1? 1 life. Okay, anyway, I gotta quit begging for likes. I feel needy right now. I'm not in need of validation. There's just a genuine fear, the same fear we all deal with, that I'm not enough. You know what I mean? Deputy Lucy! It's just the fear that I'm not enough, right? Oh, it's the same, but like, I genuinely, truthfully, and I don't even, I mean this wholeheartedly. I think that,
Skin against skin, blood and
I've been validated by some of my,
and now you're here, driven by hate.
some of the experiences I get to have in direct cannabis interaction, right? In my professional setting, in my pleasure setting out here and whatever. So yeah, it's definitely not for validation by any means. But there is, right? We all want to fucking be validated. We all want to feel like fucking what you're talking about and what you're about means something. That it's fucking, that it's worth your time and experience and whatever, right? There is some of that. But genuine. And I can actually go back historically and throw plenty of instances where there were 0 people sitting inside of this me sitting in front of this live camera where I was talking to myself, recanting my love for this plant that has done unbelievable things for me individually, but then for plenty that I've got to witness. And for that, I will sit here and give the simplicity of you to know that methods of ingestion, cannabinoids and terpenoids, have a very possible chance of giving you comfort and yeah. Oh, Chi-Town. Appreciate that. Yeah, and I respect the hell out of anybody who's willing to give time or effort towards, at least for me, like I genuinely just want like happiness, health, love, and wealth for everybody. I'm literally saying everybody. There's plenty of people that all of us are like, can't be everybody because this person sucks. And I'm like, well, what if we taught them how not to suck? How many unspoken expectations did you have of them? How many times didn't you say what we should have to stop them from being the point of suck that they are? So we're partially held accountable for those people we think that suck too sometimes, right? So don't I'm trying to break the resentment and the self harm or the deprecation, you're not allowing yourself to overcome, and there is a genuine there's a weakness to it, right? And none of you are that weak. Nobody in the world is that weak to not look at the can you teach a lemon to be an apple? No, but that's different, right? You know, I respect that. If you gave a very good scientist enough time, could he change that lemon into an apple? Maybe. Right? But I think if that's our expectations is unrealistic, right? And it's not that, because if that's your actual goal, then find out what the molecular structure of an apple is, right? To the actual core, and then find out what the molecular structure of a lemon is to the core, and find out what commonalities there are and what the ability to, you know, possibly transfer one to the other is, because I don't know that maybe you're going to directly turn the individual lemon into an apple or the individual apple into a lemon, right? As much as if you genetically modified either one of them, you could make the apple taste like a lemon and the lemon tastes like an apple, right? And it's more just, what environment are you put under? What stresses are you put under? How much modification has it taken for you to be what it is? Chi-Town, I think you're right, but I don't know how many people want to see the world burn as much as they feel genuinely that burned by the world, right? If there were innately that evil of people, I think that we would already be non-existent as a creature, right? I think that there's too much access to detrimental things, and I'm with you. There are some very destructive people, but tell me that is not environment. tell me that that doesn't come from a place of probably horrible. You're lacking any sense of happiness, health, love, or wealth, right? And you're probably also disturbed. And, you know, I mean, we're talking extremes because I think there's a true core to all of us that is the same. I don't know anybody that from it wouldn't be because you're human, right? It would be because you were brought up by evil humans that you became an evil human. If your environment is nothing but toxicity, then toxicity is what you will be. I mean, Gary, a little bit of sugar make it real sweet. There you go. John even says it right there. He could do it. He'll grow a lemon on an apple tree. Apple. Appleman. An Appleman. Yeah, there you go. No, I really do believe, and that's the thing, like John says there, even if we're going back to the metaphorical sense of what we're speaking, you can always graft an apple into a lemon tree or a lemon into an apple tree, right? Like, you have the ability to, like John says here, to actually maybe acclimate that thing to continue its growth, right? Will it continue to breed properly? Will it continue to produce fruiting seed that looks the exact same or whatever? Probably not, right? It's a genetic morph. It's the same thing of like, what are they? Ligers, right? Because they don't exist, because a tiger and a lion don't mate in just the general in the wild, to captivate them and force them to do a breeding process or to inseminate one with the other causes a liger, right? It's an anomaly of nature, but it's incapable of breeding, right? And it has characteristics of both, but maybe because we forced it so hard, because we always have to have some level of the extreme, we've got something now that naturally will be unhealthy, is more prone to disease and all kinds of things. And I guess for some level of like science, if that's what you want to call it, is there exploration maybe? Is the liger cool to have seen within our lives? Yes. In the humane side of things, like, is this thing that is genetically an anomaly that doesn't have the same chance at health that the rest of its other, you know, it would lose in a fight to most things because it doesn't move the same way. It has to be forever in captive, right? I don't know that is, you know, I mean, I don't know. Agree. How you nurture is how you know. If you don't experience otherwise, it's hard to be other. In Chi-Town, I believe that too. And that's why I do believe, and this is what my claim to, and through personal use, okay? I have, I've been able to experience things more by myself, interpersonally and intrapersonally, because of the use of this plant, than I did by the nurturing of my direct parents. And it's not that I didn't have, I had great parents and whatever, but I learned a lot more about human interaction and personal satisfaction and how to be a good person, a wholesome, individually satisfied, cognitively aware, spatially reasoning, and forever in a place of I'm willing to be humiliated and humbled, I guess, at really any moment. I understand that I'm not ever fully right about something because of somebody else's experiences. But I also know that there are instances where mathematical measurement and scientific truth is real. And in this plant, I have some of that I can prove and solve, right? But in society, I genuinely believe that this plant, if it was accessible to all of the people who are going to cognitive behavioral therapies and getting, what are they called? Fucking amphetamines as children. And, every single person who has been in an environment where they weren't given the cognitive skills or didn't have the cognitive support, and it's not a fault to anybody around them, right? I guess they could point fingers and you can be mad at whoever, but the people around them might not have known, right? So how do we fault anybody? Where does the buck stop? And who's the one that takes the fucking blame and lives in the humility and goes, you know what? We got to do something better. I can't just go, oh, well, my parents didn't do it this way, so now I don't have to do it that way. The environment around me allows me to be bummy and scummy, so I will just be bummy and scummy. Where I can consciously check and go, oh, I know where my fail points are, but I don't have to exist in it or look in the mirror in it, because I'm so much better at gratifying the person in front of me, right? And as long as I keep being a yes man to everybody else and satisfying everybody else, who cares if I take care of myself, man? You know? And like, what does that lean a lot of these people to live in is a space of misery to begin with. But I believe that, truthfully, in this plant that we use for personal exploration and whatever, you can, without any external help, right? I think you can interpersonally, inside here, maybe not. I do believe that cognitive behavioral therapies or conversations with people willing to conversate about the things that plague you and hurt you is probably very, very beneficial. Like I said, I've actually genuinely called Ganja Toker at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, crying about fucking life, man. There's a humility that we have to exist in, and there's a truth to, I can't handle all of this on my own sometimes. I would like somebody else to be there, right? But the amount of times that I've turned to cannabis, went and zenned myself the fuck out, gotten very comfortable, and been able to go reapproach the situation that I exist in, including like relationships, work situations, everything, without me spike reacting because I'm so emotionally in tuned or out of tune, really, but like emotionally tuned up, right? Like I'm so fucking immediately that, but wait a minute, let me go smoke in between this. Let me take a minute to reflect on it. I'm going to go back and go, oh, you had this problem. I have this problem. Here's how we come to an agreeable thing. And like, we make it work, right? Because I don't need to be your boss. I don't need to fucking tell you what to do. There's no like, you know, and even in getting a title, your title gets you nothing. Your title gets you more responsibility, and if anything, you should be more fucking supportive in what you do because you have this higher title. Do more work. You probably do less work and more other work, right? Like there's some other shit, but do the shit. get down and fucking helps the fuck out of the people around you, right? And that's like, it's an unspoken thing sometimes. Sometimes it's very spoken. Sometimes it's right in your fucking face, right? But like, yeah, I think show up for yourself, though, really, right? It's not to be a boss to others. It's to be a boss to yourself, right? And like, loosely interpret that word boss. It sounds very cool and it sounds very in charge, but like, I don't want that. I'm not in charge of anything except for myself, right? And to be a boss in that regard, to boss myself, to be able to actually say words, to be the smoker who has a cigarette in his mouth and goes, oh, you shouldn't smoke. I know I'm doing it, but don't fucking do this. Don't do as I do as I say. The amount of us who are very good at telling other people what to do, it's unreal. In this, I'm going to reflect on another point. This linktr.ee girl that I was listening to is about relationships, and she said one thing, and I said something earlier to the effects of there's some things that I don't agree with, right? And I think it comes back to a very truth that we all exist in. Sometimes we don't want, this is what she said, sometimes we don't want for you to tell us what to do. We just want to be heard, all right? Chris Williamson asked this linktr.ee, what is it that girls want, right? How do we satisfy them? And there's got to be something. You've talked to thousands of women and whatever, even more, thousands of men too. What's the thing? And she goes, well, sometimes when we're in that moment, we just want to be listened to. And you may come to us and give us all of the solution to the problem. You may actually, the words that you say may be the truth of what we need to do. And we may even know that that's the truth and what we need to do. But at that moment, I just need you to listen to me, give me a hug, tell me it's okay. And like, all right. As much as like, in my brain, it drives me nuts because you just said you cognitively are aware that there is a truth being spoken. But I don't need that at this moment. I need a connection. I need a safety net. I need an understanding that I am enough, right? That whatever I'm going through, I don't need to be in fear of. And that's the truth, right? All of us have to find this in plenty of different aspects of our lives, right? But yeah, I don't know. I just, I very much, after listening to these people talk about how we interact as humans and where the commonalities exist in some of our interactions, especially in relationships. And it was like, when they were saying what they were saying, I was like, oh, I can correlate, right? We can all correlate to some of the stories that people present. And I've gone through certain things, and you've, whatever. But, I think of how many times I've made an excuse for myself, comparatively to how many times I've made excuses for other people, right? And it's again because I want to satisfy you. I don't want to make you unhappy. I want to be there for you. I want to be your friend. I want to be liked. I want you to think that I'm enough. So like, if I want to satisfy you, and if I can to say something negative that would hurt you might not satisfy you. So then in that, I have to be careful in what I say, right? But yeah, oh, these dancing lights get my fucking, I keep staring at the dancing lights. They get pretty at times, and then my thoughts just go out the fucking door. I gotta have ADD or ADHD or whatever the fuck it is, just short-term thoughts. Damn, it came back to them weird little wormy guys again. Anyway, that might be what's in my brain right now, you know? Weird little, there's not. It's okay. I really need to change this song. I know that you love it, Guap, and I would love to listen to it too.
Hippity ski bop, dip pity do, have another one, or have another two, wang dang, skibbity bee wop, cannonball, or a little belly flop, ninny minny spinny, drop a dip a dilly. I love crackers when they're in my chili. I made a way to ding a ling a wong a dong with Diddy Kong. Do you know what he just said?
Trip, trap, keep up, lad. Diggity diggity,
no
doubt, baby.
Y'all can have your spoons and bands. I be using this lighter and these love handles.
This is actually where the hell was I at? We can bring this back. Here we go. Here you go. Sorry. I'll get myself confused up again, talking about all the things. Where was we at? I know I'll come back to it. I can get there. The mental workouts sometimes. Yeah. This is an original. This is made all by me. Every word. Yeah. What? I think I can wrap back to the moral of where my conversation was leading. And it's to Chi-Town, it's to your point. How you're nurtured is how you know. If you don't experience otherwise, it's hard to be other. There are a lot of exceptions in what you said. There are a lot of people who have come from some very tough situations and have become not that. It's very easy to be that, and it's very hard to exit that, especially when you are in the depths of it, right? And there are depths of, I mean, we can call them whatever we want. Ghettos, war zones, slums, housing projects, tent cities, within all of these places that we recognize as dangerous, not you know what I mean? Like they're not as well to do as all of us out here in our other settings of life, right? And how hard would it be to exit that? From some of us who don't know, and some of us who have had opportunities and to have our jobs, and that's the thing for some of us, we like complain about how much money we make at a certain time for how much time we give, and that's probably right. You might deserve more, but what are you doing about it? All you're doing is complaining about it. We have to make a difference somehow. And I think that is in the same way that like some people can't get out of it, when you're saying that if you don't experience otherwise, it's hard to be otherwise. How do you get away from the misery of all you exist in, and all you breed, and all you speak, and all you do is also that same misery, right? And it is it's the fear. It's the fear speaking for you. The inability to cognitively present a safe space for yourself right? And a lot of times that's just cognitive for us who exist in places that generally are safe, where the crime rate isn't whatever, or you feel safe. You got locked doors. You got a means of protection within your house. All these excess things that allow you some level of protection and safety from at least deranged whatevers that are out there, right? Because that's always a possibility. But like, also, what are you prepared for cognitively in yourself, like for any of the dangers that aren't just natural physical threats but are psychological threats? And when you can exit yourself from those spaces, whatever it is, it's the same possibility for somebody else, I would imagine, to get themselves out of some places, right? And it's, if you are at this current point homeless and you have absolutely nothing and you're starting from zero, there's probably no other place in the world that I'd rather start than in at least America. We don't typically like to see people suffer and die without food or clothes or housing or whatever. And though there are plenty of cities who are far more lax in their taking care of the public who don't have the whatever it is, whyever they're in the space that they're in, they're there. I think there's places that are better at it, but I also think that reform in all of that matters as well. I think that giving access to all of those places of dark misery or places where it seems unreachable or unchangeable, unfixable, right? We go, well, that's just war, that's just the ghetto, that's just the poor folks, that's just the tent city. Well, how do we, without being so destructive and coming through and going, get the fuck out of here, tent people, and just knocking the whole place down or putting a fence up or making a rule about it or whatever, how do we help them reform, or how do we help them get the skills enough to, as a network or as a community, to be a productive enough arm of some society where they can contribute, but then have at least the survivable means, right, to protect themselves from, the basic dangers of whatever living in, the elements is, especially where we're at, where it's fucking cold as shit, and you literally have the potential of just dying because of fucking how cold it is, right? So there's, I don't know. I'm successfully. And I think that's it, Chi-Town. I myself am trying my hardest to be that arm of support for as many people as I can also, because the amount of people who go, yeah, well, there's always misery, and I go, and it's not because you just said it, there's always gonna be people who want to burn the shit down. Okay, do you know any? And if you say yes, well, then the answer is, well, the question to that is, what have we done to help prevent that? Is there a means of having conversation with those people to connect to them? When I had a conversation with one of my buddies, his daughter, she's in school, and she said, yeah, I know exactly who the school shooter is. We all call him School Shooter. And I go, well, yeah, you all should stop that. No offense, but if you keep poking the kid who you think is gonna come shoot up the fucking school by calling him School Shooter, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen? That's not the way to approach that. Has anybody tried to attempt to be a friend to this kid, right? Because back when I went to high school, I understand that I'm different, right? I'm really loud. I'll be in your face, but I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be cool as hell. Let's just be friends. I could not stand watching people sit alone at a fucking lunch table. And though some people wanted to, there was often times where I would walk up and go, "Hey, do you mind if I sit over here?" And then you know they'd give you that weird ass look like, "Why the fuck do you gotta come here?" Whatever. And I would just go by myself. I don't need to bring a crowd. I'm not trying to make a scene, and I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. But I also want you to know that somebody's here, man. And most of the time I would start small talk conversation, or I'd try to. And if I could, you know that I will, because I'm doing it here. I will try my hardest to push meaningful conversation. I will try my best to go, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing? You got a date to homecoming?" And then they look at you like you're a fucking dickbag. Nobody's fucking sitting here around. Me? Like, why? Who the fuck do you think I talk to? I'm going to homecoming, you asshole. Well, no, the reason why I'm saying is that I know some people who aren't, and maybe you would want to join our group, right? Nobody's really going as a couple, but we're going as a bunch of individuals. So if you wanted to join our group, and the amount of people who were like, "Are you for real? Hey, man, I might actually take you up on that." Well, and see, it's how you approach it, right? Because people always, no matter what, we have the guard up. There's an immediate defense towards whatever help is being presented. But it's hard for help to present itself at times, because in the same way, when the girlfriend doesn't want you to come in and tell her what to fucking do, she just wants you to listen to her, give her the hug, and say, "I'm here for you. We can overcome that tomorrow." We just didn't want to overcome it in the moment, right? So, like, you know, I don't know. Viruses are, yeah, Biz, those ones are weird. That's what I was saying, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do the thing, but I do, Chi-Town, that's why the support, right? I hope that I can be of support to anybody who might need it. And it doesn't need to be live on this thing, and if it's quietly after, and I know that, like, some of the people in here directly have been massive supporters of me through my everything, and just even listening to me have these conversations every Thursday night, it is massive support. It's validated. It allows me to not live in so much fear that I'm not enough, right? At least for a few people out there, I feel like there's enough of what I'm saying that holds truth. And I'm not saying what I'm saying to be egotistical or to try to prove anything to anybody or to tell you what to do or to be offensive. There's none of it, right? It's my perspectives that I've taken from the interactions and the experiences that I've had. I've interpreted the emotional impact that I've retained and gained from it. And I've somehow tried to correlate back to cannabis, the impact, but also the efficacy of how cannabis, in its many different forms and with its many different properties, can be genuinely beneficial to overcoming a lot of what we're going through, right? Including cognitively, right? And CBD being a big talk of what I tell people to consider doing when they need different, right? I had a lady 2 weeks ago. She came in with her husband. She looked pretty upset, miserable. They didn't seem to have a ton of money. I'm not trying to call out anybody's financial. I don't really care. But the reason I say that is because I offered a few different products, and they kind of like, she like looked at him like, oof, like that's a little too much. I think it was, it doesn't really matter. Whatever I offered them was too much, right? So they were like, why don't we put some of that back? And in the putting it back, I said, okay, I hear you, but can I ask you why you're putting it back? Because if it's a budgetary thing, let me try to offer you something of lesser value, but with the same efficacy, right? Like, I'm not I just want you to get the actual comfort. I don't want you to go home and get one moment of comfort. I want you to try to start getting to the point where, in a long term, you actually feel better. You actually cognitively are more capable of handling the peaks and the valleys. And the way to do that for a lot of people is to introduce CBD. And this lady came in and she talked, and we had this conversation, and the husband said, no, 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 we're going to get all of it. And I'm going to, it's okay. I'll just put it on my card and we'll be fine. And for him to sacrifice, for him to be because it's all to make them happy, right? It's to make sure that she's satisfied and happy. And also, you're hurt. I want to protect you. I would do anything to protect you, right? So if it means for me to go into financial ruins or to push my financial fucking barriers even more, what is the difference? Because I actually need you to find comfort. And it was a week later when the lady came back in and she said, I found something. You actually did something for me. I saw her at another person's and I looked at her and said, holy shit, you're back for the things? And she goes, they actually worked. It was these and not the other thing, right? And I said, no, I thought, and she goes, I thought you were just kind of, I get it. Some of you know more about this thing, but she said, I thought you were just blowing smoke, but by adding this amount of CBD into my diet with consistency, my pain has reduced, my anxiety has reduced, my overall energy and attention span has increased. And I was like, holy shit, like, and it'll be for those accolades that I continually sit here and I talk, because I love this plant. I fucking appreciate that a ton. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Gary, I think realistically, more than not, I'm learning more from all of you, and I'm learning more from my interactions and my experiences, and with these kind validations and reassurances, it's super nice, right? But it also, like, I know I can't be that far off, man. I'm not saying this for personal gain. I'm saying this because it sucks to watch the misery, man. I'm saying this because it hurts more to listen to all of the inability to communicate. It hurts more to watch people suffer at the hands of the people who are claiming to help them, right? I remember when, and I said it to my brother, when my pops was passing, I looked at him and I said, hey man, I said, I'm not trying to be rude, and I don't want to come off as an asshole, right? But I need you to hear where my brain's at. I said, if I hear another one of these hospice people tell Dad that they're here to help him, I'm probably going to freak the fuck out. It's because of my perspective at things. And it's because, for me, suffering at the end of life, but cognitively in a space with people who matter the most to me, seems far better than to be choked out incoherently by Western medication that helps us not suffer so much, right? And bold words during a bold time. I've taken opiates before. I understand the incoherence. I've watched people who use opiates, and I've watched their level of incoherence. I witnessed the difference that cannabis has on the effects of a deteriorating person at the end of life, comparatively to that of what opiates have on somebody at the end of life. And if you want my, you know, I just think that there's a far more logical, present, alive thing that goes on there instead of such of a cold, dead, incoherent thing that goes on, right? And again, my perspective, but how one person can consider that helping you, and then the other person considers that the opposite, right? Dangerous. It's a space that I guess it's per each individual and what you would prefer for yourself, right? I'm not mad at anybody. Do whatever it is that you want to do. We all have the right to choose some of the things that go on. This like white screen thing. Oh, it's coming back. We're coming back. All right. Oh wow, it came back to that really neat one. Anyway, yeah, we all have the right to choose how we go or do or whatever. I just think that I've seen a lot of people who appreciate the beauty in things whilst under the influence of cannabis towards the end of life, comparatively to that of which opiates have caused people at the end of life. Let me hear, if you don't know.
Hey, fentanyl ain't no good. Hey, fentanyl ain't no good. Hey, fentanyl ain't no good.
Alright. The morphine, the Dilaudid, the fucking, all these things that they giving people for end of life palliative care, something. I mean, where, you know, you can't even consume fucking water anymore. You can't lift yourself up to go to the bathroom. You can't fucking, you got nothing. You're dry. Imagine the worst cottonmouth you've ever felt in your life times infinity, right? So yeah, I don't know, man. Friends, there's a truth in cannabis for me. There's a coherence in cannabis for me. It's been both in personal and anecdotal. It exists in mathematics and it exists in sciences, but it also exists in the spiritual and the unknown. You can profit financially from it. You can profit spiritually from it. You can profit anatomically, physiologically, health-wise from it. It has the capacity to build a house around you, to insulate the house around you, to produce enough energy for the house around you, to store the energy that it's producing in the house that it's built for you, to feed you and maybe even your pets and things in the house that it's built, right? Like this plant is, it's wild how multi-versatile this thing is. And for the probably most boring part of it to be the reason why all of us have to be badged to work around it, or we still have friends getting criminalized for it. And you know, that little THC, it's got to be the most boring part of this plant. I mean, it's neat, thanks for the intoxication THC, but there's a lot of other parts of the plant. Like if, let's say, we increase THC, B, CBN, Delta 8, because Delta 8 can naturally occur on the plant too. If we increased all of those aspects of the plant and we did not increase THC, I genuinely believe that we would feel some level of intoxication or something. Whether it was the same punchy, stingy thing that we recognize from a THC-rich cannabis, or if it is a more mellow, generally comfortable, giggly, laughy, funny, floaty, whatever it is, whatever the feeling is, do I believe that the plant would continue to have feeling without THC? 1,000,000%. It's not even a feeling, it's a knowing of, because there are other intoxicating aspects of this plant that are not just THC. So, Kev, what's up, baby? Hey, what it do, brother? To the gods. Gary, clean D8 isn't that bad, right? Like, it's not that great. I don't know about great. It's not bad though, right? Delta 9 is a far better cannabinoid in the sense of which we use the plant for, but yeah. Anyway, friends, we're really approaching that end of the night thing. I should probably smoke one more time. What do you guys think? Y'all down for one more smoking session? Kev just got here. I can't leave right this second. We'll turn the visualizations right back on. See, maybe we can get a great song on here. Whoa! I'll smoke with you, man. I'll hit the Oh, here we go. Woo! Oh yeah, Kev. That's what I'm talking about. America. Whatever you're into, baby. You know what I'm into? You, brother. Just knowing that you're happy and fucking, you know, out there just doing it. Just knowing that you're you. Knowing that I get to experience a different representation of another version of you, man. I like you, man. Golly. Tomorrow's the end of the work week, friends. Okie dokie, at least for me it is. I'm ready for it. Oh, Kev. The most unconditional form of love. I think really the beauty in the word love for me, Kev, in when I say that, when I commit that, it tends to be unconditional, right? It's not tends to be. The truth and the essence of what love means to me is the unconditionalness of it, right? And there are instances where it might be tougher to hold true to your commitments or whatever, but unconditional is it's a beautiful word to say in conjunction, but also just to say an alternative to love, right? Yeah, big fan of it. That's it, brother. Little for the left, little for the right. Do licky, licky, licky all night, you know? Oh, hitting that Peacekeeper Baker, dude. Fucking golly. Gare Bear, here we go. Woo! Hell no. Thank you, sexy bears. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, love always and unconditional. I fucking like that. I'm a big fan. Happiness, health, love, and wealth. Peace, love, and cope. Right? All these things are like, I like strong words. I like rhythms of words that induce thought, right? That mean more than just this. That mean more than just the simple lyrics of it, but also have a deeper impact if you really try to harness it, right? I mean, I really do believe in it. Peace, man. What are we all doing? We're still bombing people, bro. The fuck? I don't know how the fuck you tell anybody that you love anything, but you're willing to bomb. That's wild. You gotta stop the bombs, man. Don't make me get back on an atomic bomb fucking rant. We'll be here until fucking midnight, right? But yeah. Love, right? Feel the unconditional. Don't worry. Don't sit in the fear of being unaccepted and not being enough. You know? Kev, I'm in. That atomic clean my grinder. That's right, Kev. Alright, let's do it. My mom would love a Hawaiian man. She'll come out there. Yeah, she'll live in Hawaii. And then that way we can be brothers for real, bro. The hell are we doing? Oh, hell no, Biz. You better calm the fuck down. I don't like you, man. So he said you better quit. I'm gonna send you to your room. You ain't about to get no allowance next week. You better calm the fuck down. Talking to me like that. Man. Yeah. I fucking love you, bro. If the man wanna get a while. What are we talking about? Oh. You are enough, y'all. Oh, there he goes with that feel-good shit again. I know I'm enough, motherfucker. Say something new. I'm never gonna keep saying I'm saying nothing new. That's all I got. You are enough. It's the truth. You gotta keep hearing it. You gotta believe it. And then you really gotta do something with it. What are you enough for, right? Well, you're enough to solve any one of the problems that are immediately present in your life, right? And if you are fucking problem-free, come smoke some more weed with me, you know? And then we'll just talk about weed. And if you're problem-free, help me solve the problem of how the fuck do I help more people understand cannabis in a personal use setting that is very medicinal, that is very spiritual, but also is not medicinal and it doesn't have to be that deep either, right? It doesn't have to be spiritual, right? It just has to be the use of cannabis, right? How do we teach people the use of cannabis for the most that it has to offer, right? The only way, if you want to think about it, you think about it if you got no other problems. If you got other problems, don't think about this problem, because that's my problem to try and solve, right? I got to think about it all the time. Well, let's fix the other problems that seem to be in your life, and if there aren't any, good on you. If there are some, we got the tools, friends. We can get there. You are enough. And it begins with you, right? Being very honest with yourself, setting goals, having plans, holding yourself accountable, dealing with the humility of looking in the mirror, going, hey, I actually, quit saying it out loud, right? In the same way what we were just talking about, if the girlfriend is having a rough day or whatever and you got the answer on how to fix it, maybe it's not just the time to fix it, right? You're always good at fixing their problems, right? Maybe it's time that you look in the mirror, talk to yourself like you're your own girlfriend or your own boyfriend or whatever the hell you want it to be, and you look in the mirror and you say, hey, you know what? I know what your problems are. I can hear you saying it. Let me assist you. The way that I will assist you is by doing X, Y, or Z. I can be there for you, right? I can help you eat better. I can help you love you a little bit more. I can stop you from feeling so fearful that you're not going to satisfy at least yourself, right? Because at the end of this day, we have to satisfy ourselves. We have to feel confident that the moves that we are doing, the actions and the reactions that we take throughout our daily life is beneficial to ourselves and to our longevity. And honestly, we all just want to help other people. And if you're telling me, and this is what Chi-Town was saying, is that there are people who innately want to see stuff burn, right? But come on, how do we help them? We got to be able to help them. There's got to be a better way, and that's what I'm saying. It's got to be through the weed, right? Because the weed makes me right, makes me feel good. And I don't want to have to weaponize weed. I don't want to turn it into the atomic bomb. I don't want to have fucking bomb grenades, Oh, this doesn't seem right. AK-40 joints, there'd be so much fucking, oh. If you could just machine gun joint, but you know what I mean? But not like actually ones that they gotta smoke, but just the full impact of a joint out of a machine that just repetitiously just boom, 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 but without booms, because booms are scary. You've heard me talk about, oh, see, I'm going back into the fucking, where I'm weaponizing weed again. I'm getting crazy. It's gotten too late. You gotta get me the fuck out of here. All right? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. What if we could, honestly, do the same thing with weed? You know what I mean? Because the second somebody got ignorant or dumb or stupid or just wasn't listening or like, you're trying to reason like a fucking adult, like a whatever, and then these people are acting like savages and just won't, there's just no reason to them, And then what should you do? Otherwise, just pull out a little quick fucking, a little bomb grenade, right? Pull the fucking pin, right? Pull the pin. Throw the fucking thing, right? Pull the slide. Chuck the fucking bong. And it's like, it's not loud. There's no bang. There's no boom. It lightens the mood. AK-40 joints. With kickies. Hell yeah. You're good enough, smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. That's it. Got it. Bombs just boobies. Yeah, okay. They're fishing. Oh, fuck. Hey, whatever you Oh, he needs a salmon. Salmon. That's like a good color shirt. Oh, hit the bong, get a long. Big long down, King Kong. Okay. I'm just spewing now. I'm a mere head-butted meat. Still. Product Canadian? Product Canadian? I don't know. If you run into the wall. No, he's from London or Brit. I don't fucking. Forget the old ways. No, but that's what I'm saying. AK-40 bongs. No? AK-40 joints. Additional things are the. And now listen. You're probably right. Implant. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, bro. Get everybody on board with this cannabomb. Oh, cannabomb. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I'm gonna give a little bum 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 with the cannabis in it. It's not gonna go boom. It's gonna feel like the shroom. Not really bong at all. Cause it makes you feel like bonging a shroom. Oh fuck, it's 11:11. At least on my computer at this point, y'all can wait. How do I disappear myself for a second? Watch me. Hold on. Boom, I'm gone. You see how my computer says 11:11 now? If your phone says a different time, see, this is what I'm always talking about. That's why I'm late to the stream sometimes. Oh no, my phone says 11:11. We're in good shape. I did update it recently. All right, no excuses. We're back. 11:11. Happy 11:11. You wonderful, awesome peacekeeper. Gare Bear, I fucking love you, buddy. Kev Lyman, how great to have you here. Love Sacred Mountains. I wouldn't. Oh man, I would love to see that. Seymour Butts, 11:11. All the love, all the love. All right, friends. I need to tell you all again. Thank you all for spending your Thursday nights with me. Thank you all for showing support and making me feel like I am not alone in this journey. You make me feel as though I am enough and I don't have to fear losing any of my great supporters. And I hope that I can return that favor to all of you. Chi-Town High Five, great conversation. Oh man, Chi-Town, I appreciate the hell out of you. Seymour, Dudley Dawson, thank you, my brother Kevin Lyman, Gary Cornett, Biznada, Chi-Town High Five, Guapo, Seymour Buds, Gary, Chi-Town, John Voight, Deputy Lucy, here, Seymour, Ganja Toker, what a smoker, Seymour, Chi-Town High Five, Dudley Dawson, Guapo, Biz, Colleen, wow, what a great appearance, Alyssa and Angelo, I can't thank you all enough for coming in here and spending time. That is so great. Chi-Town 21. I have tried the Puffco Peak. I've had both the Peak and the regular one. Man, I wish you were still here. I would tell you all of my reviews on both of it. I'm sorry I didn't get to the question faster. Chi-Town 21. What a great friend. Dudley Dawson, Alyssa, Prison, Guapo. Got a little Raphael and Breeze sighting in here tonight. That's exciting in here tonight. Oh, I wanna do it all night. And the Guapo was #1. Hey, y'all, just so you know, it's a proven fact. The #1 commenter is 420% more likely to have the riches of the world bestowed on them. Okay? Anyway, I love you all very much. Thanks for doing this. Good night, everybody. Always, bro. Great to always watch you. Great to listen and talk to you, Gary Bear. Ganja Toker, you still? What the hell? Holy fuck, you're still here? What a hero. Came back. Yep. I mean, he's got a lot of cum on his back, but that's because that's what he likes to do. So glad he came back, though. Anyway, Seymour, she says hi to Ganj. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Yep, that's true, Dudley. See you later. Yeah. Woo! Good night, everyone. Good night, Gary Bear. The Guapo Deuces. He says too, please. Good night. Night to you. You already. Stay blessed, Kev. I am. I'm a very blessed guy. Very blessed. My friends, it literally has been a pleasure. Wow, thanks for showing me this thing. I'll play with this forever. I'll just fucking use that from now on. Until we meet again, my friends, stay blessed. Pico de Guapo.
Avocado, 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 potato, 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 potato.
Hey, fentanyl ain't no good. Hey, fentanyl ain't no good. Hey, fentanyl ain't no good. Hey, fentanyl ain't no good.
What else we got on here? Anyway, bye. See you later. That fentanyl ain't no good, man. Pico de Yo. Sheet. You crazy, man. Alright, I love y'all. Thanks again. See you next Thursday. Yep, I'll be here. Until that day, I hope all of your days just get greater and greater. The weather is a little bit better. It's still fucking January. Everybody stop talking about it getting fucking nicer. It's a bit. We're gonna get fucked again. There's gonna be more snow. There's gonna be more cold. There's gonna be a fucking little gophery looking thing. It's gonna come out of a hole. It's gonna say fuck all of you. You know, Jesus. Anyway, don't just guys. Just make sure you come back next Thursday with less come on your back than Billy. Okay? I love you all. See you soon. Have a good night. Get fucked again. Wait, oh shit. Alright, yeah. Find some more. Go. What? Yep, get fight. That's it. Who's whining, Biz? What are you talking about? Are you doing okay? Oh shit, you know what I almost forgot? I hope you strike peace when you seek it. I hope you find love when you need it, and I hope you can cope when you feel it. Peace, love, and cope. Peacekeepers, that's all of you. Keep the peace. Be fucking great. Don't forget.
Hey, fentanyl ain't no good.
And Biz.
Don't come around here. I will kick the dog shit out your ass.
That's it. There you are. Have that. Drummer! Oh, just in time. What a sweet. Oh, God, we're so blessed. Anita and Lucy, we miss you all also. We are fucking so blessed. Wow. And we got dumbass Biz over here. He said lame. It ain't lame. That's why you put a LOL in front of it. This is what you got.
Yeah, he got the rebees or something.
He do. He got the rebees or something. Damn. All right. Anyway. How? See y'all next time. I'm a soup kitchen business card. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Do you have your certificate, bro? You gotta get the HR certificate. The harassment. But dude, you better calm down with that shit. I don't know if I'm supposed to time you out when you say things like that. I'm not too hip. I'm not privy to all what the kids are saying nowadays. So now it looks wild. I don't even know what it means. Got to show the 22nd. Where are we going? We're in. Oh, of February? Ooh, February's a busy month for me. I got to look at a schedule. Don't let me commit. Oh, hell no. Do you take... Oh, golly. Jan's Deli and Lombard is not Smashed Adams. Oh, love Smashed Adams. I do love a good deli, too. uh, Date girls. Anyway, Dirty Mike and the boys. Look it up. Yeah, look at I'm a soup. Gotta look up the soup kitchen. To me, I gotta write it here. What does it mean to soup kitchen someone's car? Guys are essentially leaving it in a very poor state, like how a soup kitchen would provide a basic minimal meal to someone in need. Find the car has been left in a severely damaged, unusable condition. Wow, I really like that. Oh, wow. Don't take the fucking Urban Dictionary version of that. Holy Christ, did that get wild. Well, what else do we got to lose? I listen, y'all are my friends, so you might as well just listen. According to the Urban Dictionary, do y'all know what soup kitchening is? If you don't want to hear some wild shit, here is your chance. Turn the fucking thing off, all right? Just turn it off. That's all you gotta do. Don't listen to me anymore. I've already said goodnight. I said the PC thing. I did the point. I did the fentanyl ain't no good. You're okay. You have no more commitment. Okay. It's the only place to look it up. It's the best. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. I'm going to a source that is not mine. Look up the Montana. Okay. Okay. So okay. No. Here we go. The soup kitchen. And homeless people partake in sexual activity in a car, sometimes leaving behind items like newborn babies and or dead mice in used condoms. That is precisely the verbiage that I just read. Yeah, you all don't want to start going there. I had a bunch of wild mung diving, Alabama hot pocket, fucking Amazon firefighter. I used to go through that thing. Used to try and remember the wildest shit that you can find. Alaskan pipeline, forced Alaskan pipeline. Get the hell out of here. There's some crazy shit. People willing to put words in like crazy. No, I don't want to. No, hell no. Y'all are You guys are nuts. You guys are just nuts. Okay. Hot Carl 69. Oh well, that's what I'm saying. If you the Alabama hot pocket is pretty bad, the fucking look up mung diving, okay? Drummer, MUNG, mung diving, okay? If that's not good enough for you, I mean Alaskan pipeline is pretty fucked up also, right? Like forced Alaskan pipeline, even worse, you know? I mean, Jesus. Oh shit. Yeah, so come on now. Come on now. The internet has a lot of internet to offer out there. All right. Yo, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, now that that has gone on, we've lost another quarter of the viewers. I don't blame anybody. It's gotten out of hand. This is probably one of the best ones we've had in a long time. I'm gonna have to delete it now. got too crazy, said some wild shit. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really fuck. I also, Seymour, at some point, let me know that I should put back. I don't know how to do it. Maybe there's like a massive button I can just put everything back to public again. Wait, not undo it, but do it. Put everything back to public. Let everybody access. Go on geek. But the problem is that a lot of these things now have like music in the background that has been copyrighted, and I'm yeah. So we'll. Ooh, wait, hold on. What are we waiting for? What do we do? What do we do? You're fin to. Hell, you're a fin too. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Release it. Release the Kraken! Okay, friends. All this, peace, love, see you later. Don't forget
Hey,
this.
fentanyl ain't no
And
good.
remember, and all right, y'all. Have a good night. Ganja, you're fucking wild. See you soon. Have a good one. Next Thursday, faux show. Be there and bring a friend. Okay, bye. Noches. Good night. Damn it, Biz. I'm glad I didn't. I'm just done now. Now I'm really actually fucking stopping it. Y'all are nasty. Bye.